Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. I think I've got the squeaky chair today. Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's time for the last mid-month mini mission inspiration for 2022. In fact, it's the last mission inspiration full stop for 2022. So let me turn over to my overhead camera. I'll show you the card with the words for inspiration and what letter was chosen at random this month and what I'm going to do. Okay, so the random letter chosen for the last mini mission inspiration for 2022 was the letter M, and the 5 words for inspiration, as you can see, were mermaid, magic, magenta, music and mouse. Now I'm not going to be able to squeeze all of these in unless I can find a magenta mouse that's playing music, and maybe it just had a bit of sparkle to get the magic. I think those kind of images are going to be few and far between and pretty much done for me. So instead, I'm going to go down a little bit of a different route. I'm going to incorporate some music. I'm going to incorporate a mermaid. I'm going to add a little bit of magenta into the mix. I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze the mouse in. And the magic, like I said, I'm going to deal with by adding in a little bit of sparkle. So I've already cut out my tag using my acrylic cover as my template, and don't forget, if you want to join in with me next year for my mid-month mini mission inspirations with the art tags, the tag journals are still available on the website, so you can get yours now and get ready for 2023. So that's my shameless plug out the way with. A boy's got to eat. So I've already cut out my base tag from an old piece of packaging from Mr. Bentley's Food. So I also went running through my stash of digi images and I found some magenta glitter. Look. And I've printed it just at the right size to cut that out so that I can stick that down onto my tag for the background. So let me just quickly snip that off with some scissors. I'm not particularly bothered about getting a perfect edge because I can always trim this later. All I did was make sure that I printed it at the right height for the tag, because I knew that once I've got the right height, I also have the right kind of width for it as well. So this kind of ticks 2 boxes, doesn't it? We've got that bit of like sparkle effects in the background, which is going to go, we're going to have to use sparkle as magic, because everybody knows that the words magic and sparkle go together. So there we go. So what I can do now is that's going to be the front of the tag. So I'll grab some glue. So what we're going to use, I'm going to use some of the grab and go. Or shall we use some, no, we'll use some spirit glue, because I don't particularly want this to wrinkle that much. So let's just whack a load of that spirit glue down. And then I'm going to have to decide how I'm going to cover the back as well for this one. And seeing as we're in December, you can also be forgiven if you add in a little festive cheer, if that's what you want to do, because that's exactly what I'm going to do, because it's December. Alright, so let me stick that down over the top, just manoeuvre it so I can get pretty much, that's it. Has that gone through? That can't have soaked through the paper, unless I've got glue on my fingers, which wouldn't surprise me. Sticky fingers already. Now then, I did see a scalpel. Yes, there we are. We've got a scalpel. So what I can do now is just quickly, just using the edge of the tag as my straight edge, I can just quickly go around, trim off the excess. Now normally I would do this after I've let it dry a bit, but I'm just going to work through it today. There we go. Do you know, I think it is actually coming through the paper. It's most unusual. This paper must be incredibly thin, but it's just ordinary printer paper. But for some reason, yeah, the glue's actually soaking through. That's rubbish. Or is it just me? It might just be me. There we go. So just trim those edges off. So I'm going to start off with a magenta sparkle background. Look at that. But it's not sparkly enough. Not just yet. So what I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to add, or when we're done, I'm going to add some glitter onto there just to make it proper kind of sparkly. Right, so the other thing, so there's the magenta. Music. I've printed off some jingle bells. So what I want to do now is just using that template again. I'm going to place that down just so we've got that right in the middle. Get a pen and then just draw all the way around. Oh, that moved. Okay, so now I've got the line all the way around. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut so that I'm about maybe like half a centimetre, maybe, what would you call that in inches? About a quarter of an inch. All the way on the inside of the line, so that I'm getting the shape of the tag, and this won't be exact because I'm just doing it by eye. So I'm going to get the shape of the tag, but it'll be a smaller version if I'm lucky. As you saw, I didn't do any measuring there at all. So if I lay that now on top of there, we're going to have, it's a bit messy down at the bottom, but that's fine. So we've got some magenta sparkle around the outside, that's fine. And then we've got the music sheet, which is jingle bells. So yes, we've got music, we've got a bit more Christmassiness. So let's just get some more glue on that. Let's see whether this starts to come through now. Maybe it's because I've put too much on. Maybe that's what it was. I had too much glue on. But hey, what can I say? Oops. Okay. So let's drop that down. So we've now got that sparkle border. Okay. So now we've got that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get some glue. Shall we just use ordinary PVA? I think, or glue stick. No, I'm not going to use glue stick. I want something a bit stronger. Yeah, let's use some grab and go glue. And then I'm going to put a bead of the glue around the edge. Now, normally, I'm not allowed. Look at the mess. Totally messy today. Normally, I'm not allowed glue in the glitter in the house because Ian doesn't like it. He says it gets everywhere and it's difficult to get up, which it is, but that's fine. Okay, so don't forget your PVA will also dry completely clear, which is what this grab and go is. It's just very thick grab and go. So it does have a very quick grab. I'm not being very eloquent today, am I? It grabs quick is what I'm trying to say. Let's see if I can get some scratch paper. There we go, that'll do. Right, so unicorn sparkles. There we go, Christmas sparkle. And I'm just going to dump this all around the edge. Just because. Christmas comes but once a year, so we can afford a little bit of sparkle. Step outside our comfort zone as far as this is concerned. Because like I said, don't use a lot of glitter normally. I don't know whether you can see that or whether the camera is too bright at the moment, but I'll just put that to one side and then we can deal with the rest of this glitter. There's actually quite a lot of magenta tones in that glitter as well. That'll do. Right, straight into the bin. With the paper, not with the glitter obviously. We've got a bit left over, there we go. Right, so let's bring that back in and I'm just going to gently heat it. Okay, so I've just had to stop with the heat gun because I could see that in some areas the sparkle was starting to dim, which basically means that the heat from the heat gun was starting to melt the glitter. And when that happens, obviously, it stops sparkling. So we'll just have to call it quits for now on that one. Right, so the next thing, mermaid. Right, a little bit of a story. Last time I was in the United States, we went to San Diego and we were, it was nearly Christmas. It was in November time. And there were a lot of stores with lots of Christmas decorations and Christmas ornaments kicking about. And while we were in one of the stores, we happened to spot some Christmas decorations from an American company called December Diamonds. And basically what these were mermaids and mermen done as Christmas ornaments to hang. And this is a picture of one of them. Yes, I know. Very saucy. But I thought that would be perfect, as soon as it's Christmas, to add just a tad of eye candy. Even if it's pretend eye candy. Because it's not a real picture, it's actually a kind of like a sculpture, if you like. I think the real ones were either resin or they're almost like Fimo stuff, so I think they're probably cast resin. But I thought, there we go. We've got a little bit of a glittery tail and he's holding a cocktail glass. But he's a merman, so he'll do. He serves me purpose for this one. And I've just printed him on a little bit of cardstock just so I've got a little bit of rigidity to the image, because I knew I'd have to just go around with a bit of distress just to get rid of those raw white edges. For the life of me, I can't find my vintage photo pen, you know, one of the distress markers that I normally use for doing this kind of thing. It's gone somewhere, borrowed and never returned, most likely, from the usual suspects. So now we've got that. So let's stick some glitter down, not glitter, some glue down on the back of this. So yes, these ornaments are extremely kitschy, and I'm very fond of kitsch as the next person, but they're just a little bit too kitschy for me for a Christmas tree. When it comes to Christmas, I'm a little bit more traditional in my tastes. but for this I think it's going to work all right. Now hopefully when the glue dries around the edge there naturally, you're going to be able to see that magenta through a little bit better. There we go. So I'll now just leave that to dry for a little bit longer, a little bit au naturel, and then I'll be back hopefully when this is dried a little bit more. Okay, so I've given that plenty of time to dry, and as you can see that magenta colour's kind of started to show through, but it is still hidden. So what I was able to find is this. So this was actually a carrier bag, a paper carrier bag that I got whilst doing some Christmas shopping recently. I know, almost like it was tailor-made for it. So what I've done is I've just cut that section off the carrier bag side, and I'm going to use that for the back of the tag. There we go, look at that, perfect size. Probably just use a bit just to trim off. Hey, Mr. Bentley. Somebody's just coming to see me, he's just woke up I think, which probably means he'll want to go, just shaking his head out there now, which probably means he probably want to go for a wee-wee in a second. We'll keep an eye on him. Oh no, it's like he's gone back into the bedroom. He's gone back to bed. Okay, so I'll just quickly trim this out. I'm just cutting slightly inside the line because when I did it, ran the pen around the tag, it was obviously on the outside of the shape. It's not going to be perfect, but I can hear him moving about out there. Are you getting back in bed? Yeah, I think he is. People think whippets are, you know, need a lot of exercise and a lot of running. They don't. They spend, I think they said it was about 18 hours a day sleeping. It's ridiculous. And he certainly does. We literally have to force him out of bed of a morning just to right. A bit thicker paper because obviously it was a carry bag. So I'm hoping that's gonna, oh look at that. There we go. For the first time I'm actually counting the back of the tag as part of the whole, which I don't normally do. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to need to leave that just to dry for a bit before I can just trim off the excess, but that's pretty much there I think. It's not going to need much trimming at all. Okay, back in a moment. Okay, so the glitter's starting to shed. This is what I was afraid of. Ian's going to kill me. He hates glitter. Ian's going to find it all over the carpet. Never mind, it's only once a year. Right, so I've stuck that onto the back, as you can see, and I've also now stuck on the card for inspiration, so now I know exactly what the inspiration was last time, or if I go back later on and have a look to see what the inspiration was. So I've also printed off a couple of words for a little quote or a little slogan just to go on the tag. And I've tried to do them in a kind of sympathetic colour, so it's like a real dark magenta, not purple, more of a real dark pink. So hopefully when we stick these on, so have a holly, jolly. Man, not Merry, man, even though he has got a glass in his hand. Christmas. Okay, so for that, sticking this on, I think we will use a fine point just to stick down. Right, let's start at the bottom. Okay, I'm also keeping my ear out as well, for not just for Mr. Bentley wanting to go for a wee, in case he's at the door. I'm also waiting for an Amazon delivery as well today. Last few Christmas presents being delivered. I decided to go with Amazon rather than ordinary post because Amazon are still delivering. At the moment, our postmen are taking industrial action for their own reasons. Okay. I'm trying to keep it kind of like within the gaps of the music. But this top line, or the top row, I'm going to stick up the top there. Just twist it a little bit. There we go. Have a holly jolly merman Christmas. And then we're all stuck down on the back, and that glue is definitely coming through the paper. It's obviously really thin paper. So all I have to do now is to find my tag cover, which is there. Just offer that up on the back. Make a quick scribble so I know where the hole needs to go. Now then, what did I do? I do this every single time. I put my hole punches to one side thinking I know exactly where that is the next time, and then when I go back to it, it's disappeared. Right, let me just go and find it. There we go. That didn't take long. It was staring at me. It was right in front of me. I just couldn't see it for looking. Okay. Hopefully. Oh. There we go. So there's my art tag for the final mid-month mini mission. Shedding. The mid-month mini mission for December. So we've got, let's have a look, which ones have we done? We've done mermaid. Well, yeah, sort of. We've definitely got magenta. We've definitely got music. And I think with the sparkle, we can count that as magic. The only one I haven't really got is the mouse. So there you go. So let's get that back on there in its rightful place. I'll just take the cover back off again because otherwise it's going to reflect the light. So there is my art tag for December, the final one for 2022. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that art tag for the month. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget, if you want to join in with me with the tags for next year and you haven't got your tag journal kit yet, then like I said earlier, they are still available on the website. So that's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget to check out your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. Thank you.